Hello Year 11. So this video is going to really help you to prepare for your exams in history, both in March and the real things in the summer. So what are your lessons going to look like between now and March and between now and the summer? Your lessons are going to come in two lesson blocks that are going to focus on one particular topic. For example, medicine 1700 to 1900. Elizabeth, poverty, leisure and education. The first of these two lessons will begin with a knowledge test, and your teacher the week before will set you for home learning to revise for this knowledge test. So you're going to enter this lesson already with some great knowledge and already having revised this topic. You're then going to have this knowledge recapped and retaught by your teacher. We're going to go through the most important and challenging topics and bits of information so that your knowledge gets boosted during the lesson. So that first lesson is you turn up having revised, you do your knowledge test, and then we boost your knowledge in that topic. In the second lesson, we're going to go through skills with you. We'll focus on one or two specific questions that we want to improve your ability to answer. We'll tell you exactly how to answer those questions. We'll show you some model answers, some good ones, maybe some that are not so good. You'll get a chance to practice answering these question types using some of the knowledge from the previous lesson. That combination of having great knowledge and knowing how to answer the questions is what's going to make you incredibly successful in the summer. You'll then, at the end of the second lesson, be given an unseen exam question. That'll be a question on a topic you've just built your knowledge of, and the question type you've just been through, but it will be a question you've never seen before. So you're going to have to now really apply your knowledge and apply your skills in exam timed conditions. This is going to help you get really exam ready for the summer and, of course, for March. Your teacher again will tell you to revise for this for home learning. Your teacher will mark every unseen exam question you practice. So you'll get feedback on that from your teacher on exactly, specifically what you need to do to get better. This cycle will then repeat. So every couple of lessons, you're building your knowledge. You're building your ability to answer the questions. You're having a go in proper exam conditions and getting feedback from your teacher on how to improve. This cycle of knowledge, skills, and practice is going to lead you to be really confident and successful both in March and this summer. So in March, you're going to have two exams. You're going to have paper 1, medicine 1250 to the present day, including the questions on World War I. 1 hour and 15 minutes. You're also going to have paper 2, Elizabeth, your first opportunity to practice this paper in exam conditions. 1558 to 1588, 55 minutes. So they are your two exams in March. So how should you prepare for your exams? I've got 7 steps that are going to lead you to be really, really successful in March and indeed in the summer. Step 1 is very simply to join our Google Classroom. The code is written there. Search for it in Google. Just type Google Classroom in, click on it, click Join Classroom, type the code in, and you're in. The Google Classroom has got tons of good stuff on it to support you. It's got revision checklists telling you every single topic and thing that you need to know about for the exam. It's got our homemade revision booklets, which contain great knowledge to boost your knowledge and understanding. It contains our structures booklets that tells you exactly how to answer every single question. It's got past papers on there. There are already some on there and more are being put up every week. It's got revision videos, both ones we've made ourselves. This video will be on there too soon. And videos that other great history teachers have made to support your knowledge and your understanding. And it's got way more besides. It's got booklets that you can test your understanding, revision activities, join it and use it. That's step 1. Step 2, plan out your history revision, be organized. Revise your history in short bursts. I really recommend about 20 minutes at a time is perfect. That allows you to really stay focused and sharp on 1 or 2 topics that you want to revise. But do this frequently. You're much better to do 20 minutes, 3, 4, 5, however many times you can a week than one really long session. So little and often is your best way to build knowledge in history. Plan that revision out. Plan out when you're going to do it and what topics you're going to revise. Be really organized so you know exactly what you're going to revise when. That will help you to make sure it's balanced, so you're revising both medicine and Elizabeth, that you're not neglecting certain topics. Now, there's more to learn in medicine than Elizabeth, so probably you'll need to revise medicine a bit more than you revise Elizabeth. I would spend about 60% of your time revising medicine and about 40% revising Elizabeth. But if you feel your confidence in Elizabeth is way lower than medicine, then balance that out. Maybe make it 50-50 so that you're revising both equally. You make that judgment. You know how confident you feel. And start early. Don't leave your revision to the last minute. History is very, very fair. But there's a lot you need to know. If you start early, you'll reduce that anxiety, reduce that stress, give yourself the time to build that knowledge. So start today. Step 3. Use the revision checklists. These are lists that just tell you all the different things you need to know something about. And they have space there for you to reflect on what you're more or less confident about. How confident do you feel? These checklists have been given to you in class and they are on the Google Classroom. It's really, really important you don't have gaps in your knowledge. This is essential in history. If you have a certain topic that you don't know anything about, if that topic comes up in the exam on a 16-mark question or a 12-mark question, then you're going to lose a huge amount of marks and really struggle to be as successful as you can be. If you use these checklists, you can literally go down them and just decide how confident you feel about each topic. This then allows you to really quickly prioritize what to revise first and what to revise most. You want to have good knowledge of every topic. So you're going to need to revise more of the topics you're less confident in and your knowledge is weaker. And you know what? That is going to be harder. It's harder to do that than it is to revise the topics you already know. That's easier. It feels good. And you're going to revise those topics too. You need to revise everything a bit, but you've got to show some grit and some determination. And those topics you've struggled with, they're the ones you've got to go back to first so you don't have those gaps. So use the checklists, prioritize your revision. Step 4, make sure you've got something that works for you to then revise from. You've planned out your revision, you've picked the topics you're going to revise first and most, and made sure you're doing a little bit of everything as well. What are you going to revise from? It could be a revision guide. We sell them on the school shop, £2.65 each. They're like half the price of Amazon, and they're really, really good. They have everything in that you need to be successful. We also sell revision flashcards if that works better for you. Seneca is really great for history revision. If it works for you, then use it. Have a go. Speak to your teacher if you're not sure, and they will show you. I have had students in the past who have only used Seneca for history revision and have achieved brilliant history results. If it works for you, that could be the thing you revise from. You might have made your own flashcards or revision materials. Your own timelines are brilliant to make as well. Chronology is so important. That's fab as well. You might not have made all your own flashcards because that takes a long time. If there's a topic you're really struggling with though, you might make some flashcards just on those topics you find really hard. You might find making your own flashcard helps you to understand it really well. So step 4 is find something to revise from that works for you. Step 5 is to revise effectively. Make every second of that revision count. How do you revise knowledge then effectively for history? Check, test, check. This means you get your page of your revision guide or flashcard or whatever of the thing you're going to revise, that session in history, and you read it. Have a read through. Check that knowledge. Then you cover it up and test what you can remember. In the end, you have to memorize knowledge. So you cover it up and you test yourself. Either say it in your head, say it out loud, write it out, whatever works for you. And then you check, you go back to the revision guide page and you see, what did I remember? What did I get right? And what did I forget? What did I maybe get wrong? Then you test yourself again, and this time you remember a little bit more. That's you learning. That's you getting better at history. That's you revising effectively. You might test yourself, or you might get someone to test you. Might be a friend or family member. All you have to do is give them your flashcards or revision guide or whatever, and all they have to do is say to you, tell me about William Harvey as an example. And all you have to do then is just tell them everything you can remember, and they then just have a look at the revision guide or flashcard and tell you what you got wrong or what you forgot. So get someone to test you, mix it up. To start with, know a little bit about everything. Plug those gaps. Then you can start adding those really high quality, precise facts that are going to allow you to get the top grades. Step 6, don't forget to revise structures. You must know how to answer every single question. Knowledge plus knowing how to answer the questions equals success. Don't forget to learn those sentence starters too. We've devised our structures booklet, which we've given to you, and it's on the Google Classroom to help you get as many marks as possible. We've really planned these carefully, so do take advantage of them. Use the structures booklet and memorize how to answer the questions in the same way you learn knowledge. Check, test, check. Learn those sentence starters. Don't enter that exam not knowing how to answer the questions. It takes the pressure off in the exam. It's one less thing to worry about if you know exactly inside out how to answer every question. So learn the structures and know what gets you marks. That precise knowledge, you know that's going to get you top marks. Explaining clearly, using the wording of the question, you know that's going to get you top marks. And for every question, know how to get marks. So revise structures is step 6. Finally, step 7 is to get, I'm going to call it exam ready. This is doing things like planning answers to possible questions. We'll be doing this in lessons a lot, but you can do it at home. Go through every past paper, every question you can possibly find, and just plan your answer to it. What are your points going to be? What are your agree and disagree paragraphs going to be? This means in the exam, A, you're used to planning answers to questions, which is an important skill in the exam. And B, one of those questions you've planned for or something very similar might come up, and that's going to really support you too. Take a look at past papers. There are some on the Google Classroom and more going up all the time. Get used to what the questions look like and then practice answering some questions. Do it in timed conditions. The structures booklet tells you how long to spend on each question. Practice answering them in timed conditions. See how you do. If you run out of time, just draw a little mark in the margin or change the colour of your pen and finish it. Give it to your teacher and we'll give you guidance on how you can improve, how you can save time. Your teachers will mark every single question you practice. So practice some. That's what you're going to have to do in the exam, so get used to it. Give them to your teacher and we'll give you some feedback. Finally, don't forget to look over what you've done in the past. Be evaluative. Use metacognition to reflect on previous exams and PPEs. Use the reflection sheets you've made. What did you do really well in the past that you need to keep doing? What do you need to improve? What bits of revision can you improve? What questions do you need to learn the structures for better? This makes sure that you keep getting better and better at history. So in March, you do better than you did in December in the last PPs. And in the summer, you're peaking at the right time to absolutely smash those exams and do brilliantly. So those 7 steps are going to really allow you to be successful and prepare for your exams. If you're going to do one thing today to begin, join our Google Classroom. There's so much there to help you. And if you've already joined, plan out exactly when and how often, the exact days and times you're going to complete your history revision, and stick to that plan. Follow these 7 steps to allow you to be really successful in March and really successful in the summer. You've got a history department behind you who want so much for you to be successful. So use your history teachers, talk to them, work really hard, and I know you'll do brilliantly in your March PPEs and brilliantly in the summer. Good luck.